to Inside BCIU. This is our opportunity to showcase great programs throughout Berks County. This month we're going to feature our Academic Challenge program.
Russia is the largest country in Europe by surface area. France is third. Again, we're considering Europe. What country is second largest? Number 2, Wilson. Yes.
The main role that BCIU has with the Academic Challenge is to get the matches coordinated, which is a pretty involved role because we have to coordinate dates that work for all of the districts that are participating in the challenge.
My job is primarily to prepare the questions for the competition. Each round, there's 8 rounds per competition, consists of 32 questions varying from history, literature, mathematics, science, and the arts, all of which have to fall within basically the curriculum of what is expected on the high school level for the students. I then go into competition and read the questions to the students and rule on whether their answers are correct or incorrect, as the case may be.
Well, from the formal end of things, it's filling out forms for transportation and organizing the schedule to get to competitions. The more fun end of things is hosting practices. At Exeter, we have practice twice a week for an hour after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then it's reading trivia questions from books that we have and from online packets that we get. And that's really fun. It's a great engagement with students. And you get to see really the best and the brightest. And it gives kids a chance to apply knowledge that they may not have a chance to apply at other places.
So on the day of Academic Challenge, my role is to act as the judge for the challenge. So if there's a question about whether the procedure was followed appropriately, or whether their response to a question is correct for the answer, because sometimes there's a little ambiguity with the answers to the questions. My role is to step in and make the decision on those things so that the match can continue to move forward and we can keep the competition rolling.
Well, in science, since I taught chemistry for 35 years, the science questions do not pose an issue. However, with language arts especially, I have to do a lot of research into what are required readings for the high school students, and then find quotes, titles, authors that they might be expected to be able to give an answer to. History is also a challenge in that I have to limit it to the history lessons that are taught within the 4 years of high school. But basically it's a matter of research, search, come up with a question, make sure it conforms to curriculum, and put it together.
The scoring process for Academic Challenge is fairly simple. It does take 2 of us because we work buzzers and bells and timers and things to make sure everybody's on track. When one of the teams, I have to set a timer, and there's a particular length of time. Those teams have that amount of time to answer that question. So if they answer it within the right time, timer goes off, they get 1 point for a question answered correctly. If they don't answer it correctly, another team can continue to make an effort to answer the question. Vicky works this cool button.
Yes, the button that I operate is as the students push their buzzers, similar to Jeopardy, I make certain that their buzzers go off so another team has the opportunity to answer a question if the students answered in an incorrect manner.
So our team hosts one practice 1 day a week, and we practice for about 2 hours, and we have different varieties of questions. We have our own buzzer system as well. So we all kind of keep tally of our scores and work through practice to identify where we're weak, and then we actually study up on those areas and do some online practices like Quiz Bowl, Proto Bowl. So those are some things that we do to prepare for these competitions.
after each challenge, we compile the number of the wins, the losses, and the ties. Wins are 1 point each, losses are 0, and they get a half a point for a tie. And it depends on how many, not how many matches or rounds they've won, but it matters how many teams they've won or lost to. That creates those numbers. And then after the challenge, we put all that together and we put it on a table and send it out to each of the coaches. And after the 4th challenge, we come up with 1st and 2nd, and they battle for the county championship.
Overall, I would say the best part about Academic Challenge is meeting all of the students who participate in the process. They are wonderful students, so knowledgeable, and always impressed with what they know. But in addition to that, they are well-mannered and polite and excited to be part of the competition, and they're respectful of each other. We find that they leave notes for the next team on the competition tables, and it's such a nice thing to see them being supportive of each other through the process of the challenge.
So even as a young kid, I was really interested in just exploring the world around me. I was really curious, intellectually curious, and it's just a virtue in knowing that this competition values and embraces. And the fact that I'm able to apply the things I love reading about, the categories I love reading about in the team collaborative environment, that's what makes this competition really special to me, and I'm sure the team can attest to that as well.